called me lazy.
Full of energy.
I think people definitely tried to use that. Obviously, I was on Amazon.
There's an editorial in the documentary around you, which obviously you'll be aware of, where words like lazy were used by Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
And then obviously there was the sort of one-on-one that he had with you, which was one of the sort of most fascinating parts of that documentary, where he talked about reaching your potential and that don't just deliver in moments. How did you feel about that sort of, if you like, exposure and the type of exposure? Because, I mean, the idea of being called lazy, I worked with you, obviously, with England. That word wasn't in existence around you at all at that period. I mean, you were box to box, full of energy, get up and go, attacking every single situation that you were in. You'd get stuck in. And my view of you was you'd come up for a really good upbringing in respect of lower league football, that you'd toughened you up and you were hard as nails. So the idea then that you were described as being lazy a few years later just at the time shocked me a little bit. Do you feel as though that was unhelpful, and was that potentially the start of this journey that you've gone on?
I'm glad you asked me about that. So that lazy comment, people love to bring that up. That interview, obviously I was on Amazon. He called me lazy. That was the day after recovery day. A week later, he apologised to me for calling me lazy because he'd seen me actually train and play. But that wasn't in the documentary, and no one spoke up about that because
so Jose apologised for calling you lazy in the team meeting.
Not in the team meeting, he called me lazy, but then one-on-one, I think it was on the pitch. He apologised for it, and I didn't think anything of it at the time because I know in myself I'm not lazy.
The impact of the word lazy hanging on you as a football player is a bad one.
Yeah.
It is, and that has stuck because of that documentary. But it's interesting that it wasn't in that he'd apologise for it a week later.
That's what I mean. What you see sometimes isn't the way it really is. I think, especially now with social media and all these things, we can really portray something that isn't real. After that, I think people definitely tried to use that for some other decisions.
It changed the perception of you, I think, externally, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think other coaches, maybe, for other reasons why I weren't playing, they stuck to that lazy one.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of an easy one to use. And the problem was probably more than that, I think.